Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jordan Spagnolli, and with me tonight are Peterson and Anela Brown, Digital Engagement Liaisons for THON. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. So can you guys tell me a little bit about why did you want to be in this role with THON?
Yeah, for sure. So I was the admin on Donor Alumni Relations last year for development. Super exciting. I got to experience working with timelines, and that's kind of what Bo and I's position this year has entailed. I really wanted to work specifically with app, but also reach like a wider audience.
Yeah, and mine's like similar reasoning. I was also an admin, but for special events, and same thing. I was looking for something kind of timeline related, but also something kind of creative, and especially when it comes to, we do a lot of content creation, almost like mini YouTubers, but for the live stream. So something that was, I guess, really creative too was something I was looking for, and this definitely has it.
So talking about the timeline, what specifically are you guys, like what is your specific role?
So as digital engagement liaisons, we've been working with 46 Live to help curate and plan out how different events throughout, like pre-THON events will look, and also THON weekend. So we've been trying to schedule dancer interviews with talent acts, which is super exciting. Also just interviewing other people that we can possibly and want to share their THON stories. So.
Yeah, for sure. And it's honestly just being almost like the middleman between THON and 46 Live. That connection has definitely gotten a lot stronger in recent years. And yeah, I mean, it's mostly relaying if there's THON branding, if there's different events that other directors or captains want to be part of the live stream, we kind of relay that all to 46 Live. And yeah, just. It's
been really great to like foster that relationship more, because the live stream is something that we both have felt like has really been untouched with THON. So now going towards that, I feel like there's a lot of growth and expansion that can come with working with the live stream.
Absolutely. And I do have to ask, why do you guys THON?
I always struggle with this answer just because I feel like it changes every time. I was telling you that earlier, but I really got involved with THON my freshman year because I started out at Penn State during COVID, and there wasn't a whole lot to get involved with. It was a little bit weird times, and I had someone reach out to me who was involved, and they were really passionate about it, and I was like, wow, to know that someone feels that strongly about an org is really inspiring. And I also had my dad's best friend pass away right before I went to college, and he was a big advocate for me for volunteering and being involved and wanting me to be as successful as possible, and I think THON has really helped with that. And also personal connection to my uncle passed away from cancer, so that was like another kind of reason for me to get involved, was, you know, continuing that fight to end cancer. So
yeah, for sure. And I also definitely struggle with this question too. I feel like there's just so many amazing reasons to be involved with THON. I think for me, one of the biggest is just giving kids the chance to embrace their childhood and do something they dream of doing one day. It's truly unimaginable to think about what it'd be like to be a family in this situation, especially to be a kid, just that young, to have deal with so much so quickly. So I think just honestly giving them a chance to have a future, have a chance in the fight against childhood cancer is like indescribable, and to be able to do that for them is like incredible.
As captains, we've been really able to interact with families a lot too, and just hearing their stories, and like Bo was saying, just truly understanding what it means to be going through something like that is just, it just ignites like a passion in people.
And it's really touching to see that you guys have that connection and you want to help make THON as good as you can. And speaking of making THON as good as you can, what challenges have you guys faced this year in this preparation?
Oh, wow.
A lot of things.
A lot of things.
I mean, I guess the one thing is this year is the first time this position has ever been a thing. So in that regard, it's very much been kind of trailblazing, kind of figuring out what works, what doesn't, a lot of trial and error. Yeah, and just especially with, I mean, obviously THON weekend right around the corner, like that's a lot of live stream. It's a lot of time to fill.
It's 46 hours.
Yeah, so just getting creative with that too, and trying to really diversify like what we're showcasing, and like dancers and talent, and how can we give viewers at home and families just the most inclusive, like broadest look at what's happening in the BJC, because sometimes it can be really hard to translate that on the screen.
I think Bo said it perfectly. Yeah, it has really been a lot of trial and error. A lot of good things, and a lot of things have come up where we're like, okay, we know better for next time, which is really cool to experience. And something that Bo and I have talked about a lot is how much like what we're doing now can set up our successors for success, because going into a position where you don't really know a lot about, it does give you a lot of like freedom and stuff, but there's sometimes where we would turn to each other and be like, what do we do now?
Yeah.
And it's definitely been a learning curve, but it's really opened us up to a lot of different parts of THON that we never really saw as our positions last year. So being able to work with a lot of different committees has been really great.
Well, and it sounds like you two work very closely. Can you talk a little bit more about that relationship that you guys have?
Bo and I are constantly texting each other, trying to figure out different things and just talking about like life in general. We've gotten like really close this year working together.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it has really helped the position in general, just because we know as we're treating, I guess, all this trial and error, as we're kind of figuring it out, that we're all like always on the same side with it. I think it would be exponentially harder to be in this role and just be like battling it out all the time of like, I want this in live stream. Like, it would be a little rough. So we're kind of forced because of this position to work together so much, but we have fun with it. It
worked out really well that we both kind of have, to a point, go with the flow personalities. We both like structure and we like to see things planned out with everything, but there's a lot of times where Bo will come to me with ideas and I'm like, yeah, for sure, let's do it. Or I will approach him with stuff and he's like, yeah, go for it. And having that creative freedom like with each other has been really great as well, because, and that trust between each other too, with knowing that we're gonna both put the same amount of work in for each thing.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like having someone you trust there helps.
Yeah.
But so, lastly, I wanted to ask you guys, what would you say is the best part about this job?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I think like the more obvious answer is just like getting to bring THON to wherever someone's watching. I think last year, like, I don't know exactly how many countries watched, but there was a lot of international countries that tuned into the live stream, along with, I think, almost all 50 states tuning in. So being able to just bring the magic of THON and the mission and the fight against childhood cancer to so many people globally is really, really awesome.
I think also like within that too, when Bo and I explain our position to people, they get so excited about it and they're just so intrigued by it. We have a lot of co-captains and captains from other committees who approach us and they're like, so what do you guys exactly do? And we're like, we're still figuring it out, but it'll be okay. We're really putting our all in to make sure that we can better THON, and yeah, seeing that excitement for the live stream and like Bo said, being able to reach the amount of people that the live stream reaches in collaboration with 46 Live has been really interesting and great to see. So,
well, thank you guys both so much for coming in to tell us about your involvement and experiences with THON. Now, stay tuned because coming up, Brendan and Marina will bring you the latest news from across the nation.